What is up, guys? Welcome back to Jersey Nick Moto. And today we're going to talk about money. That's right, the high cost of living in New Jersey. Now, if you're not from New Jersey or don't live here right now, don't go clicking off this video. Some of this might pertain to where you live. Or you might want to listen to this and say, wow, thank God I don't live in New Jersey. That's probably what most of you are going to say. Most of you that have been watching my channel for a while know I'm Jersey, born and raised. I grew up in Bayonne, up in Hudson County. I stayed there for 35 years until I bought my house 7 years ago in a town in Middlesex County. Like what happens to a lot of us, I guess you want to call middle class people, is the high cost of living up in Hudson County drove me a couple miles south. The property taxes up there were ridiculous when I was looking around to buy houses. So I went about roughly 20 miles south to Middlesex County, bought my house, and now it looks like I'm slowly but surely getting driven out again. Now, when I lived up in Bayonne, the house I was living in, my father owned it. I had planned on buying it from him eventually when he was ready to sell. But he was kind of hemming and hawing. He didn't know when he was going to be ready. And which was probably a good thing, because as I started thinking about it and started crunching the numbers, around the time I moved out, I believe he was paying just under $16,000 in property taxes. That to me is insane. I mean, yeah, it was a could be a 3-family house. My grandparents lived on the top floor. I had a little place in the basement. I would bounce around from the basement back up to their apartment. And the first floor, the floor in the middle, actually, was rented. I don't know if it's like this everywhere, but at least the people that he was rented to, man, renters just don't care. They just destroy your house. I wasn't looking forward to putting up with that either. I mean, I know you can get a good income for a multi-family house, but that was just some bullshit I really didn't want to deal with. So I decided to go house shopping, move south, bought my house, and at the time, the property taxes on my house, now, I got 1,200 square foot, one family, corner lot, not much of a lot, not a lot of property. My neighbors are close. It's in the suburbs. My property taxes when I bought the house were $6,000. Which to a lot of you in other parts of the country, you're going to say, oh my God. But in New Jersey at that time, that was pretty manageable, middle of the road property taxes. Well, 7 years later, I am now at $9,000 a year in property taxes. And I've just about had it. Now, let me go back a minute and say, look, this video isn't me, crying the blues, oh God, I'm broke. It's nothing like that at all. Believe me, if you watch my videos, I'm doing fine. I'm getting by like the rest of us. I'm not living in a lap of luxury, but my bills are paid. I got my toys. I take my vacations. Besides the property taxes, property taxes are ridiculous. I think I read somewhere that we were second highest only to California at one time. I mean, that may have changed over the years. Car insurance is ridiculous here. I mean, I'm lucky enough that all my vehicles are paid off, so I just have to deal with the insurance. Now, my car insurance is a little higher than most, and it's my own fault. I like to go fast. I got caught a couple times. So we got that point system. I do have points on my license. I think they're coming off next year. That's something I have no one to blame but myself. But even on an average, if you have a clean driving record, car insurance here is very expensive. Another thing is, most of our major highways are toll roads. The Garden State Parkway, the New Jersey Turnpike. So my commute to work, be it a nice short commute, especially in the morning, only 20 minutes or so, I have to pay tolls. And they just went up. I could take back roads. I used to do that, but the back road to get there is a truck route, and it's a lot of traffic. It's just a shit road. I had dump trucks kick up rocks, and I, had to get a new windshield, and it just wasn't worth it. So I went back to taking the highway, paying the tolls. I mean, it's funny. When I rode to California, the route we took to California was mostly interstate, and from New Jersey to San Diego, we paid one toll, leaving New Jersey going into Pennsylvania. I mean, if that doesn't say something right there, I don't know what does. So needless to say, the cost of living in New Jersey is pretty high. It's climbing every year, just like I'm sure it is every place else. Now, this was always my plan. Now, my plan was, I have a 25-year pension at my job. If I wanted, I could retire when I'm 54. I've been there 14 years right now, so I have, another 11 to go? So, first plan was, do my 25 years, retire, move way down south in Jersey, because it's cheaper there, it's nicer quality of living, all that stuff. Well, now down there is getting just as expensive as where I live. So I scratched that. Then my next plan was going to be, do my 25 years, move out of Jersey, move out of state. I've ridden to all 48 states. I kind of, got an idea of the sections I liked, sections I didn't. You all know I really like Tennessee. That was going to be my go-to place. But now, with all stuff that's going on in the world, and whether you're on the left, the right, I think we could all agree that this country is going through a lot of shit right now. There's a mass exodus, people leaving the populated areas where the cities are, moving down south, moving out west, and whatnot. So my plan of finishing my 25 years, then moving to a place like Tennessee, then it seemed like that wasn't going to work. So recently I've been thinking about, well, maybe to hell with the 25 years. I mean, maybe work a few more years, then quit, move out to Tennessee. I'll still hopefully be young and healthy enough to go work someplace else, so that's really not a problem. I've looked into stuff, I have a friend down there who assured me that around the area where he lives, there's plenty of places I could go drive a forklift, what I do now, or whatever. But now, with what I mentioned about the stuff going on in this country, I think I might even be too late for that. I mean, probably the optimal thing would be to go buy something right now down there and either keep living up there and hold on to that and try and pay for both of them and eventually move down there. But now also with the restrictions on me at my job due to the virus, I can't even leave the state, so I couldn't even do that if I wanted right now. And again, I'm not trying to be a pessimist, I try and be a realist, and this is just some of the stuff that I think about when I'm trying to fall asleep at night, because I always try and plan, for down the road. I don't like any surprises jumping up on me. So, I mean, what do? I mean, what I've been trying to do is, starting about probably around 2 years or so, I've been buckling down. I've been paying off any credit card debt I have. I try not to use credit cards as much unless it's absolutely necessary. You fall into that Amazon trap real quick where it's so easy to just click and buy, and then you get your bill and you're like, holy shit, man, how did this happen? So I try to stay away from that. I do without a lot of stuff that I don't need. I mean, I've talked many times I wanted to buy a third bike, something older to learn to tinker with, and I put that on the back burner. I mean, hell, I've been talking about buying a drone for this channel. I haven't done that just because I'm trying not to spend any needless cash and try to put some money away, because we don't know what's going to come. Another thing I've been doing is I've been trying to learn and work on my own bikes more. I mean, that saves me a little bit of money right there. Another thing is, I could live a lot more comfortable if I went and worked 7 days a week at my job. I pretty much have that option with the overtime, but to me, that's not living. If stuff gets tight, yeah, there's times where all right, I'll do OT for a couple weeks, build up a little more cash, but I'll tell you a little story. I said I was at this job 14 years. The job I had before it I was at a chemical plant, and we had all this crazy mandatory overtime. I was working 12-hour swing shifts. Ooh, look at that deer. Oh, stay there. I didn't expect that. I was working 12-hour swing shifts, getting scheduled on my days off. I just continuously worked. Had no time to myself, no life whatsoever. The money was great, but to me that wasn't living. And I said I wasn't going to continue to do that, because when I look back at that time, those 3 years of my life, there's really nothing good I remember about it. I remember being at work. I remember fighting with a girlfriend because I never had the chance to hang out with her. I remember fighting with family because I never had the opportunity to spend with them. And it just wasn't a happy time. So I'm not going back to that, unless it would be absolutely necessary. But anyway, that's just a little different subject for today. I mean, I don't know, let me know in the comments down below. Are things changing rapidly in your part of the country? Are things just skyrocketing in price, and maybe you have to alter plans that you always thought were set in stone and now all of a sudden are not? Let me know, leave me a comment down below. But in the meantime, what do you do? I mean, yeah, I worry about it once in a while, but I'm not gonna let it kill me. I'm not gonna let it deteriorate my health. I'm gonna, do things like this, ride my motorcycles, and keep my mental health in check, and enjoy life, and make the decisions as they come. Right now, I'm gonna stop riding around in circles and maybe take you all for a windy, chilly walk on the beach and look at the Atlantic Ocean. We haven't done that in a while. Here in Gateway National Recreation Area, better known as Sandy Hook. So I'm just going to sign off before we take that windy walk. Thank you for watching Jersey Nick Moto. I truly appreciate it. If you have not yet, please hit that subscribe button. Doesn't cost you a thing. Helps the channel out a lot. See all you guys in the next video. Keep your head on a swivel out there. Later.